Good morning. My name is Linda Rogers Bonkoviera from the Women's Leadership and Empowerment Network. This morning I'm here with Joyce from DVALI, and she's going to be talking about her NGO. But before we start, let me talk to you about the Women's Leadership and Empowerment Network. The Women's Leadership and Empowerment Network is here to help women, give women the resources and the network they need to actually become what they want in life. We believe that the voice of the woman is the voice for the future. And so that's what we do with the Women's Leadership and Empowerment Network. But this morning we're talking about a different topic, and one of the NGOs that we support, that's why we have Joyce here. So I'm going to be asking Joyce a few questions, and we'll go from there. I'm here with Joyce, like I said. So Joyce, I'm going to be asking Joyce a few questions, and so she's on the hot seat with us today. Joyce, welcome.
Thank you.
So first of all, Joyce, can you just tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, so my name is, hi Linda, thanks for having me. My name is Joyce Okunwa, I'm 53, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I'm happy to be here today.
Grandmother. Okay. She doesn't look it, does she? And this is what leadership is about, I tell you. So, you run a non-profit. Can you tell us more about the non-profit and what you do, and why actually you started this non-profit?
Okay, so we started, the founder of a non-profit initiative, as you said, called DVALI. It's the Domestic Violence Assistance Line Initiative. And it was birthed because I sat back after so many years. And I thought, okay, so what was the worst thing that you went through when you were going through domestic violence? And I thought it was the isolation, the fact that I felt that there was no one to talk to in a confidential setting. And nobody would understand why I was in this sort of scenario without judging me and telling me to leave. So I thought, okay, wow, let me start with a helpline. That would be the first step. And so we decided, DVALI, the helpline would be a confidential helpline. It will be manned by survivors, mostly, and for people who are passionate about the cause, about eradicating domestic violence. And that's how we birthed in September of this year.
September, so you're fairly young. Very new, very young, yes. very good initiative. I think the reason why Women's Leadership and Empowerment Network that you're connected to this is because we feel really strongly about what you're doing. And I think with our support, and obviously the support of other networks, I think you'll be doing really, really well. I think you mentioned a few things just now in regards to why we did this. You said it's going to be manned, so I want to sort of like reiterate some things. It's going to be manned by survivors. So when you call, you're talking to someone that has been through the same experience and so can really relate to what you're going through. I think that's quite very, very, very key. Yes, I think that's why I wanted to bring that.
Yes, you're perfectly correct. I looked at organizations like the AA and the NA, those sort of organizations, and they're manned by people who have been through addiction and abuse and stuff like that. So I thought, what better than talking to somebody who has been there? And especially in the culture of Nigeria, where we're very judgmental. We will say things like, why don't you just leave, stuff like that. If it was me, I wouldn't do the same thing. Or just stay there, it's not a bad thing to, if it starts you from time to time, it's paying the bills. But for DVALI, what we're trying to do is we provide a service where we're just going to listen. Because we know research checks shows you that a victim will try 7 times to leave before they actually leave. So we understand that you might not want to leave, and it's okay. You can call us, you can listen to us. We're here to just listen. We're not even here to. We want you to understand that we understand why you why you can't leave, because we've been there.
So, what are the 3 things that, if you were talking to someone about that you would want to leave them with? 3 things.
Okay. So, first of all, I want them to believe and to understand that we're not here to judge. 80% of the problem is talking. So that's our spin off. Talking helps. Just talking to somebody else saves some of the problem. We're not here to judge, so we understand why you want to stay. And if you do want to leave, but still, that's fantastic. We're going to help you to leave. Also, to remind women that you're not the only victim. The kids are a bigger victim than you are. And if it's any woman, most women, we think, we're the only ones going through it. Kids witness it. The boys might go on to be abusers. The girls will be psychologically, messed up. So we have to think about that when you think about the bigger picture. Yes, he's paying the bills. Yes, this man, he's probably in charge of everything. But there are ways around it. You can leave if you've made up your mind to. And my take is nobody deserves to be abused. Man or woman, it's not acceptable for you to use violence in any way.
I think let's just reiterate that actually domestic violence is not just women.
Absolutely.
So we're not saying it's a women thing, even though we're from the women's empowerment network. But it's not about that we're saying that it's just gender specific. So let's be very clear on that. We understand that domestic violence also happens with both men and women. And as Joyce has said, the children also are impacted. So it's all about the family units, basically. I think so. So one last question or one last comment. What would you say people need to do to get involved, to help with this, to support you, to ensure that what you're trying to do with this, we can achieve the mission and the vision of your NGO?
Okay, so first of all, we need, of course, with any organization, we need funds. There's only so far we can go. If people don't know that a line exists, then they're not going to know who to call. So we need supporters, we need sponsors, that would be ideal. We also need volunteers, people who have been through domestic violence. I know there's still a stigma about speaking up, but it took me a long time, but it helps, it actually helps. This big picture of you're not allowed to talk about it because it happened to you, there's a lot of shame. I know, I went through it, but we need people who have been there. If we can save one person from going through domestic violence, then it's worth the effort that we're putting into it.
So please, as Joyce said, I'm going to leave you with support by volunteering if you can, fund to help the women that are going through domestic violence, to either get out of it or even just to keep the telephone line open so that they can talk. So please get involved and support this cause. Thank you very much and good day.
Thank you.